of the appointment committee on the subject matter under reference. The Speaker, the report captures the vetting and its consideration of Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim as Minister Designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Honorable Agnes Momo Latte as Minister Designate for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu Ajari as Minister Designate for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. The Speaker, the committee members asked very salient questions on land ownership, line of reporting of the administrator of District Assembly Common Fund, improving the local economy in collaboration with MMDCs, inadequate human resource at the MMDAs, resources to run MMDAs and other agencies under the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. District Rules Improvement Program, otherwise known as DRIP, questions were asked on that. Questions were on waste management contract, the mandate of the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. The Speaker, the nominee, in a very composed manner, provided the answers, and the answers are fully captured in the report. Right Honorable Speaker, on the second nominee, Honorable Agnes Momo Latte, questions were also asked on the President's vision for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, strategies to improve school feeding program, assistance to the people of Nungua under the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, the benefit of the Women Development Bank as contained in the NDC manifesto, the livelihood empowerment against poverty, LEAP, importance of the affirmative action law, the distribution of sanitary pad among female students. Mr. Speaker, the nominee again provided answers to this question, and these answers were captured in the report verbatim.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob, but you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you, because we choose them, we vote them, we blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief, is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that There are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right. A very good morning to you, and you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and we thank God for giving us yet another day to go through the issues of the country. Today is the 27th of January 2025, and we are going to definitely get into the issues, but we will start off with the headlines of the newspapers. I start with the Daily Graphic, and it says, Dasebre Ikuamoah Boateng III takes oath as co-paramount chief. Q1 Graphic Business Stanbic breakfast meeting tomorrow. Financial Indiscipline rocks MMDA's 10-year audit reviews 242.84 million Ghana cedis in irregularities. President appoints Pesawai to head SIGA. Africa Prosperity Dialogue open January 30. Congratulations to White. In the latter days of the campaigns, I wasn't really seeing him though. But congrats to him. The Ghanaian Times, government supports tantamount to fire victims with 1 million Ghana cedis. President Mahama in Kenya for AU retreat. Thank you, Tor. President outlines development projects for Volta region. Technical committee to explore private sector participation in electricity distribution inaugurated. The New Crusading Guide. Kwauman gets 2 paramount chiefs as tension escalates. COP Kofi Boakye denies allegations of instigating chaos at Kia. Zoomlion honors Ye worker for honesty and godliness. DPHA commissions multipurpose vessel to address potential environmental issues at Ghana's ports. MEPE citizens demand resolution to Paramount Chieftaincy dispute before August Afenoto Festival. At the top right corner says that toll workers express confidence in Mahama's commitments to revive refinery. The Insight newspaper. Nwa Traditional Council appeals to President, IGP, others to halt land guard attacks in Adregano. Cannabis can yield $1 billion in reset economy, says Chimba, as it calls for commercial production in Ghana. Government set to introduce new business incentives to boost job creation, Chief of Staff. Unauthorized transfers spark probe at BCM International. Pastor faces death threats over release of book promoting compassion for LGBTQ plus rights. The Inquisitor. GM's lean government agenda, no deputy regional ministers. Boahedu was arrogant and disrespectful to cocoa farmers. Let me continue. The editorial says that Ghanaians are hypocrisy. So why couldn't you tell him in his face? Editorial. Dr. Tamaklos effusion against Dr. Prempeh are just not cool. Speaker vows to pass anti-LGBTQ plus bill. The Herald newspaper. How Mineral Fund exports awarded $40 million office building and rushed $6 million payment against Bahamas directive. New GRA board's competence and NDC ties revealed as Tamale Group gets response. Finance Minister pledges prudent economic management. Intense lobbying for ECG MD job leaves government confused. Western Region chiefs expose former regional minister on Akufo-Addo's statue. You see, this is the hypocrisy I'm talking about. Western regional chiefs expose former regional minister on Akufo-Addo's statue. Meanwhile, the statue, when it was being unveiled, the chiefs were there. They were there. We have the videos. Flanked in the regalia. They were there. Daily Statesman. WEF, digitalization catalyst for economic transformation. New NSA boss targets greater achievements, and want to say congratulations to you, Felix. We're not in Banana Republic. Asante Hene says change of government, not licensed to misbehave. We rise and fall together. Fatima to urges NPP not to wash dirty linen in public. Muntaka, we take our peace for granted. We take our peace for granted. The Ghanaian publisher, Fatima to urges NPP to prioritize unity amidst post-election reflection. Pool reject Mahama CG privatization move. 2025 WEF recognizes Dr. Bawumia's digitalization agenda. Ato forcing pledges prudent fiscal MGT. That's management. I'd rather die than accept LGBTQ plus practices in Ghana. Bapping. The custodian. Let's work hard to improve lives. Finance Minister to staff. Be cautious in airing grievances. Fatima to NPP leaders. Bawumia's digital economy agenda gets global support. Zoom Lion honest year worker. John Jinapo offers hope in energy sector. Onas's copy. Right. And then we also have Sly Heads, Ghana's Exim Bank. Congratulations to you as well, but that tells you that there's more work to be done. The Daily Post. President Mahama appoints Ishmael Yamson chairman of a 7-member National Economic Dialogue team. Hannah Tete appointed as UN Special Representative for Libya, making Ghana proud. We are impressed at your speed of work. Dogby Aperde to Mahama. The previous government was too happy to borrow without paying. Kwacho Fosu. Economy Times. Commodity market outlook promising for cocoa and gold. Commodity market outlook promising for cocoa and gold. Ghana reigns globally in fintech as WEF declares digital economy as the future of Africa. Inclusivity to be integral pivots for Mahama's economic team. Right. And that's it for all the headlines this morning. We'll take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN Rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Papa didn't tell me anything, no. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. And I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
Ghana Post.
Hey, Nano Fayu Kwanya, what Kasa welcome, Missy. And you're my brother, Mr. Happiness, and I have me. Missy, who say Ghana Post, I am fast, reliable, and affordable. Now, saying, Nanuma, and a Janya Kumami, and the command, or if I Ghana Post, we're dinning now. And it's a was a swan massacre, Medico Ghana Post you. Wait, Kobe Kakra. adwene kakra akrantie so hyase Ghana Post,
the most affordable delivery option for food and merchandise from Ghana to everywhere in the world. Connect with us today and see for yourself. Ghana Post, smart, secure deliveries.
Package, no. In less than 5 days, Ghana Post, they make life they be. Ghana Post will deliver to you wherever you are in the
world. Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Great music. Excellent service. Great company. And meats galore. The Alisa Friday barbecue. It's fun on Fridays at Alisa.
Attention all farmers, are you ready to take your crops to the next level? Introducing 3 effective organic composts that will revolutionize your farming practices. ACAP, KCAP and IRECOP brings to you the ultimate solution for your fertilizer needs. Introducing the ACAP Grade A, KCAP Equiafua Jinkwa and the IRECOP with cocoa blend, palm blend and mulch. These are made from locally sourced municipal solid waste. And these are the perfect choice for sustainable farming. Join the organic revolution today. Boost your crop yield, improve soil health, and support sustainable farming practices. Choose ACAP, KCAP, and IRECOP organic compost for a greener and bountiful harvest. For your purchase and more information, call the numbers on your screen. Our products are endorsed by COCOBOD, Planting for Food and Jobs, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
One upgrade is nice, but a double upgrade is amazing. And that's how we do it. Upgrade today to get even more with Step Up. If you're on GoTV Max and upgrade to GoTV Super, you'll get way more with GoTV Super Plus.
That's so cool!
Get big value. Get big entertainment.
Very good.
Perfect! Upgrade and get even more with GoTV. GoTV. Love it.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Merchant furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como Collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashphone store now and discover the new Como Collection. Ashphone, feel it, know it.
If you have issues, go ahead. Are you oh, you say, don't mind that corrupt guy. I was not happy.
Of the appointment committee on the subject matter under reference. The Speaker, the report captures the vetting and its consideration of Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim as Minister Designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Honorable Agnes Momo Latte as Minister Designate for Gender, Children and Social Protection. Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu Ajari as Minister Designate for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. The Speaker, the committee members asked very salient questions on land ownership, line of reporting of the administrator of District Assembly Common Fund, improving the local economy in collaboration with MMDCs, inadequate human resource at the MMDAs, resources to run MMDAs and other agencies under the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Improvement Program, otherwise known as DRIP. Questions were asked on that. Question.
You're very welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. And this morning, we have Ajay Rabi Salifu, who is the National Deputy Communications Director for NPP. She's with us in the studio already. Ajay, you're welcome. Good morning to you. Yeah, you came here like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago.
Almost 4 weeks.
Almost 4 weeks.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Anyway, welcome. All right. So, also Professor Benedicta Yaira.
Yeah, I think 4 weeks ago.
Benedicta Yaira Fosu-Mensah is with us after the whole of this year, and I think late last year we didn't see her. She is a member of the National Communications team and also a lecturer as well. But welcome, very welcome, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Where were you? Were you in the hinterlands?
Well, in the run-up to the election, we said the workday ground, so we were all on the trenches trying to catch all
and what did you do with your
floating voters.
What did you do with your lecture sessions?
Oh, we did.
You left.
My first time hearing you speak slang.
But she's in power.
You said the workday ground.
She's in power. Wow. But Prof, what about your lectures? How did you handle them?
Of course. I mean, we all have time when you are supposed to be at lectures.
So you weren't entirely on the ground?
Oh, when you say you are on the ground, I mean, lecturing is during the day. Night is there for campaign. And of course, even if you are lecturing or not lecturing the whole day, you have periods that you have lectures and periods.
Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. I think for the first time.
Can you see that?
Let me flex.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. Do they know about us?
Oh, yes. Let me flex for the very big margin. I think imagine that we all didn't expect.
Oh, but you know, the way you are overly enjoying it, you remember we gave you a landslide? We did.
You did?
Yes, so it's not novel. It's just some gap. Of course, I admit it's
Are you sure?
I do, yes.
Are you sure?
So when you are rejoicing, just know, and you don't come in. Let me tell you.
This is the first time. Huge.
How do you mean?
What I mean is that
novel by some gap.
Defeat is defeat, Annie. Defeat is defeat. But the way she's doing it as if we never gave it to them. You were here.
You mean you gave us
You
the
are
win?
just coming out of my seat.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, yes. You were in opposition just 4 weeks, 5 weeks ago.
Yes, but you are saying that you gave us
you are
the
behaving as
victory.
if you are the first to give this kind of huge success
It's a
in
first.
our electoral
When you look at all the statistics from 92 to now, this is the first time we are getting that.
No, I
margin.
think NPP has had performed 32% at some point. I'm trying to, yes, not even up to 46, 45, yes. But even that's not the case.
I don't understand the analysis you're making.
She is saying from 96, they have never, and we've never had a political party getting that kind of margin. And I'm saying the same NDC had won bigger than they won this particular election. And we can fetch out that.
Aside,
the same
when the first time
we can check
Rawlings
it.
stood with
Before?
Yes. I think that's even that.
When we
didn't
first did
win,
we went into democracy.
Yes.
I think 96, even we had 96, we even had fewer MPs in parliament than we have today. Yes, and we gave them the run of their money. So sometimes, yes, like we were talking about last 4 weeks that me I admitted, and I congratulated them.
Do you want us to go back into history?
We don't have to talk. We have to move. We are forging ahead. Everyone is moving ahead.
But it looks like you are giving wrong statistics.
No, it's not wrong, Annie. I'm just telling you the scenarios that, look, I'm happy for her. It's good she's won. I saw the arguments she made
now
here.
we're not looking at scenario. We're looking at the numbers.
The numbers.
Statistics.
Oh, I just gave you a correct number. I'm saying even in 96, we had fewer MPs than we do today. And that's correct. Very correct. So what I am telling her, what I'm telling our presidential, don't worry. You have learnt your biggest lesson ever from 2016 to 2020. I saw how their regrouping went. I read some of their reports. I listened to some of the audios that leaked. And I can tell you that, look, it was only their homework they went back to do well. And that shouldn't tell them that if they have been able to do it, NPP cannot do better. We are back to the drawing board. And that's how come you would hear Honorable Fati talking about it. You saw when you were reading the headlines. She was on almost all the front pages, saying about this regrouping process we have. So, Prof, yes, whilst you enjoy it, don't forget the promises you gave us.
Allow us
to
enjoy
I'm just telling you, if you observe how I have approached your colleagues and yourself today, I've given you that space to be in your honeymoon mood.
You are not in honeymoon.
I have congratulated you. I am yet to congratulate those who have gotten appointments. And yourself, I wish you well. And me, I am one of the critical people and strong advocates of the prayer camp of those who pray that NDC should succeed. You know why? If NDC succeeds, Ghana succeeds. However, we'll go into the issues. And that is where we will know whether you are succeeding, you will succeed, you will come back here and sit with me and will not sit quietly for me to remind you of how you held me accountable and all those things. You see that? So congratulations, my sister.
Thank you.
Yes, so enjoy.
Thank you. Oh yes, we are
enjoying
the glory of.
No, she should enjoy. She should enjoy.
I'm just watching your mannerisms and everything.
Yes.
Did you see that? Did you see what she said? She was saying.
Oh yes.
She almost danced off her seat. Have you ever seen her dancing? She should enjoy.
So if I don't read Atima's headlines,
yes,
Laratu will not be happy with me.
Very well. I would have even come to echo it, honestly. Okay. I would have revisited it.
So I'll read them.
Yeah.
Laratu thinks that I don't give priority to women.
Oh, that's good one of Laratu. That's so good.
Laratu, after Laratu, when you talk about women, she'll be looking into my corner and see.
Yeah, that's good.
How I'm contributing
to it.
That
is very good. That is very good.
So those of you, I have a doctor, Dr. Raymond. He's been very keeping a close eye on me. Doc, thank you so much for your time. And he's actually monitoring. I've not been well for some time, so he's trying to monitor how I'm faring this morning.
Hey, so you've not been well, and I've been that active on social media. So even your sick mood.
No, I've not been active. I was active only last night.
I read your KP Sapon back and forth. I read your comments on appointments.
KP Sapon, what's that?
And PK Sapon.
PK Sapon, yes.
I read that.
Oh, and that was last week.
Oh, you said you've not been well.
During the week.
Oh, then you weren't sick.
I was
just sick short period. Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I wish you.
What else did you say?
Have a speedy recovery. Yeah, I saw your critique, very constructive, of course, on the education minister's vetting.
Okay.
It didn't meet your expectation, I guess. Yeah. So I read that as well. I read a couple of messages from you on Facebook.
Yeah. For the education ministry, it was solely because I think that we commit a lot of money from the budget or percentage of the budget, about 30% to the education ministry. And I expect that no matter how intelligent you think somebody is, we need to focus and ask critical questions.
Beyond.
Because based on these questions is what we're going to mark the performances of these ministers to or with, you understand? So you can't let me come and sit there, or let a minister come and sit there, and you'll be showering love messages, I love you, and want you to succeed. We don't care what you want. You want. We want to help the Ghanaian people monitor, listen, analyze, check these persons that we have appointed into office because we voted them. So if they've been appointed by the president, Mahama, it means that we have appointed them. We want to know if we have done the right thing or we've done the wrong thing. And that's why we take them to vetting. Well, there are reports and, some critical analysis about the vetting. So I think I'll go into that later.
And beyond the cost, I totally agree with what you said. 100% I'm with you. Also beyond the cost, I normally would focus on how the education addresses the gender gap, the issue of poverty, and other things. Because if you look at people, like we always say, who would have been denied access, but now have access. Quality has been issues that we all have been discussing. I remember that day when we had to talk about quality of food, and you had to point and say, Rabbi, would you feed your kid? You see, these are issues that we get ourselves very close to our chest, and all of us are part of. So yes, being the backbone, just like a Greek, I really expected that some of the MPs wouldn't have been carried away by excitement or confidence in some of the nominees, because you could just read between the lines that, look, okay, so this is somebody they are very confident in. They have seen the person perform in terms of critical roles in this country and various ministries as an MP and as a minister. And probably they just got carried away by their past experience and what they could do better. But yes, like you said, they could have done better, though. They could have chosen to be a little mute on the praise singing and then touch on the critical issues. Just like when I watched Honorable John Jinapur's vetting, I liked the line of questions from the minority. I saw that critical questions were being asked on how we could get our lights on continuously, and also having to put it back to him on the statement he made on not any other day but that special day of the NDC inauguration, when he gave us 5 hours that never came. So yes, there were some aspects that we had these appointees asking very critical questions, but yeah, some were also praise singing, and I think we can do better as a country. And with all the comments we all are making and other stakeholders, I'm sure they would have learned enough of their lessons on that. And moving on, I'm pretty sure the vetting would take
a more serious twist.
I don't want to even say more, a much improved approach than it is today. So yes, I agree with you.
Okay, we will get into that quickly, but let me just, give you the opportunity to talk about what Fatima is saying. So Fatima says, I'll be cautious in airing grievances. And the publisher, the Ghanaian publisher, also Fatima, to urges NPP to prioritize the unity amidst post-election reflections. You give us a release. I want to...
Yeah, there is a...
Yes, what's that release about? To all regional executive committee from election
review committee. They are going to all the regions to engage on the regrouping process.
Okay, that is the 2024 election review committee extends its compliments to. Okay, so on behalf of the chairman of the 2024 Election Review Committee, Professor Michael Quay, I write to inform all regional executive committees and constituency executives committee that starting Monday, January 27, 2025, the committee will embark on a nationwide visitation to the 276 constituencies across the regions, as previously stated in our previous press releases. A goal of these engagements is to engage with all stakeholders and conduct a comprehensive assessment of the factors that influence the party's performance in 2024 elections. We have divided the committee into six teams, assigning each team to specific regions. So we have the regions, zones, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6. Okay, I'm sure we'll display it on the screens later, and then you appreciate exactly how the zones have been put into how the NPP intends to do. So it is coming out of which Fatimatu is speaking to you to, manage your utterances.
And not wash our dirty linen.
But you wash the dirty linen even in government.
I don't know which one you're referring to.
The MPs.
The day they were doing the election of
leadership. The day they were asking you to remove the finance minister.
Oh, that one. You call that washing. Sometimes you see, Annie, I'm pretty sure you were the same person I saw quite excited about that.
I don't know if this hasn't come too late, Annie, in time.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure you are the same person I watched very positive about what they did. Yes, you are the same person I saw in that mood. You see, sometimes...
I just like very strange things.
You do?
Yes, moving out of the status quo.
You're always doing the math, so I'm not surprised. You always have the math to do. But of course, you see, I like Honorable Fatima Abukari, not to do a lot of praise singing, but what she's saying is very true. I remember the famous audios. I don't know if you were following, because a lot of those audios were said in Dagbani. So it would have been quite difficult for you to even have interest or chance upon it. But after the NDC lost 2016 election, it was more chaotic than we are currently going through. I remember, and those of my brothers and sisters from Northern Region watching me, they would attest to the fact. Just like it's happening to us today, we heard and saw them moving back to their various smaller cycles, caucuses, cabals, talking to each other, telling each other, why did we lose? And we all remember it was apathy within or amongst the NPP members. Now, even if we want to expand the conversation, what happened to NDC in 2016 is honestly not different, even in our case, just with some slight difference. Because when you look at the issues of corruption, when you look at issues of apathy amongst party members and broadening that to neglect of party faithfuls, the issue of arrogance among appointees, the issues of some utterances being said, even the flag bearer, as at that time, said some things that people were not too comfortable with, just like President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo having to come to comment on Honorable Cecilia Dapa's case, getting the whole nation acting and all that. Somebody will put it that politicians don't learn. It is sad to admit that we do things to suggest we sometimes don't learn, which I am mostly very sad about. Just last night, I had a conversation with some people and I was asking them, so even in the midst of all this regrouping, what is the signal of hope? Because whatever you're doing, Annie, you need to have the clear indicators that given the factors that I am pointing at, I have a clear indication that I will do better tomorrow and all that. And the good thing is that not to even preempt what the committee is doing, is that majority of our party members agreed, and I know you were very active on social media, both mainstream and social media. You have all of us, from our leadership to the grassroots, agreeing that we form part of our defeat. That is a common and a very open, humble way of agreeing to your failure. After our flag bearer admitting that, yes, we have lost the election, we will go back, do what we need to do. We listened to, was it Damboche who said we'll regroup and come back? One of the leaders said that as well. Party leadership sat, and you know, we recently had our neck. You could see the honesty in people's hearts and faces. I can't speak to their hearts, but sometimes when somebody is actually demonstrating some level of honesty, you can see by what they tell you and how you could relate or the references you can make to that. Now we had people talking about being neglected, calls were not being picked by appointees, some wouldn't even just relate nicely to the foot soldiers, the issue of even at the side of the foot soldiers also having bloated expectations, because we had people who had, not to sound quite hilarious about it, but the expectation by some were really, really unrealistic. So when you bring all this together...
Expectations by some were unrealistic?
Some human beings. I don't want to limit it to a particular group within the party, but you could see somebody expecting, let's say, an MP to buy a car for him or her, Annie. And look at the number of people living in the constituency. Look at the critical or the kinds of issues that the MP would have to attend to. And look at even their common fund. Look at whom the MP was before even becoming an MP. And obviously, some also mentioned issues amongst this 86 MPs you spoke about, having to change or call for the change of the finance minister. Some were also looking at it on the issue of reshuffle. Some would tell you that, look, how do you expect an individual who could sit for 8 good years without being changed to act remorsefully or to now have the head to think again? By all means, those ones were also seen to be fatigued and all that. Now, Annie, it's not even time for me to go so deep into the findings of the committee. But currently, they are going to the regions. They have 6 teams. And I know my people. I know the party I am in. And I know my NPP. We are going to be brutally honest to each other. We are not going to massage issues. And I was one of the people who came on Facebook to first of all write And I wrote, and I'm sure you read it, I was saying, look, in our quest to regrouping, let's be very honest to ourselves. Let's start with those who were kept at the position of leadership and suppose accountability, because we are expected to account. That is not to say I worked entirely clean in the process. Some of the issues were unavoidable. Some were accidental. You probably didn't see somebody, the person felt Rabi has become arrogant because she's gotten the privilege to sit on Metro TV. I remember when somebody had to call somebody and say, are you watching Rabi on Metro TV? She's become so arrogant. And you know why? I don't blame the person. The issue I was seriously defending didn't need that energy of defense. So I was annoying the person who was even a party member and watching me. So later when I heard it, I looked at it from both sides. I said, yes, probably he wasn't referring to me, but he thought that the issue we were discussing at that material moment didn't need the kind of energy I gave. And you know, a lot of these issues would come up. I'm too sure that you would hear some from grapevine, some even directly, that yes, this person had done this. One thing I also feel might come up, and I would urge our committee members led by Professor Michael Quay to really do thorough investigation and cross-check or fact-checking of some of the information they shall get.
Right.
Annie, it is sad from both NPP and NDC. This whole thing is not about NDC. That for various interests, for people's selfishness, if I may put it, you just get to hear things about other people that would just be mind-blowing. And if care is not taken, if investigation is not done thoroughly, you would have gotten, of course, I'm not undermining or saying the committee wouldn't do that, but I'm just appealing that with the kind of confidence and their qualifications and experience and then tact that we all expect they are bringing on board, they will do all that and bring us. So lastly, what I'm telling you is that, Annie, it was a very hard moment for us as a party, conceiving, soaking the pressure, healing, accepting, coming back to the nation to say, yes, we missed the point. Yes, we should have done it better. But since you have spoken, we will give our opponents the chance. We will support them to deliver. And inshallah, when we ever get the opportunity to come, which I hope in the nearest future, we would do much better than the way they also learned and came back to perform. And I know we'll talk about appointments. When you look at the trend of appointments that is currently ongoing, you can say that Mahama has really learned, President Mahama.
He has learned.
He has learned. They are saying it, we are seeing it.
What have you seen?
Looking at
okay, wait, hold
he's
on.
making.
I'll let you go into that, but let me read. Prof, you don't want to say anything about the
NPP.
She's been talking for the past, I think.
Oh, I can rest for you to talk.
20 minutes.
Oh, okay, okay. Then
so,
you just have a little bite.
Anyway,
this one is their house business.
So once again,
say,
she kept on referring to NDC, so I would just want to say one of you. Cherish viewers. Happy. I'm sure by now she's getting settled and having realized that it is really true and not really that she's having a nightmare that they have lost by its reality. But having talked about that, I think what Fatima said is in the right direction. They need to sit down and reset the party. It was so obvious that the NPP was virtually hijacked by some few people. And the issue of Achim mafias have hijacked the party was a very common thing that we heard in the run-up to their primary and also to the main election. The issue about they being sincere and honest with themselves, I think they were just a party and a government at that time that did not really take Ghanaians seriously, or they didn't really think that we had the power to change whatever we wish to do, because it was so obvious that they were running the country to a halt. And the fact that at a point in time, their own MP stood up and were calling for the removal of the finance minister when things were really, really, really bad. But what did they do? They refused to listen to this individual. And a number of these individuals were victimized. They lost their seat. And some were really calculated attempt to punish this individual because they felt the then finance minister was untouchable. These were so clear. Corruption was unprecedented during their era. I remember in the run-up to their own primary, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong made a statement that they were looting money and everything, state funds, state property, as if there was no tomorrow. It was so clear. And you look, our team is just showing an indication the level of corruption, the level of state capture under the regime of the NPP when they were in government. So it was so obvious that they were going to lose. And of course, polls showed that they were going to lose. But for them, I don't know. You know, they said when a blind man says, I would throw a stone or I'll hit you with a stone, it means that his or her leg is on a stone. And so I'm not too sure if that was what was happening to them, that they felt that there was somebody there to really make sure that they were going to win the election. They kept saying that they were going to win the election at all costs. And I remember that then, I've forgotten his name, who made a statement that they were going to win the election by strategy. But of course, Ghanaians were awake, and I want to use this opportunity to once again salute Ghanaians that they have spoken, and it's so clear that we cannot be taken for granted. Everything was showing that the NPP took Ghanaians for granted. The pest that former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said he was coming to protect, the pest was not just protected, but the pest was missing, the pest was taken. So, of course, Fatima saying that they should not wash their dirty lily in the public. For me, I would say that the dirty lily is already in the public because it was so obvious that the party were hijacked by a few individuals. I remember even when they lost, they ended up sacking a number of people from the party. That wasn't the time for them to even take such decision. They should have allowed everybody to heal, go back to people they have offended, because indeed they offended a lot of people, including their own. And I felt that that was a time for them to rather sit back, have a reflection of what went wrong, what went right, what didn't go right, for them to allow people to heal and start, approaching individuals who got offended or who were hurt by their action or inaction, and then bring people together. But instead, they took, again, that arrogant position of saying that they were sacking a number of people from the party. And elections or party is numbers. So if you are sacking people from your party, well, you are just further disintegrating the party. And so I would say that what they need now is to allow healing, is to reset the party, and stop this issue of the NDC did this, the NDC did that, and so we would also want to do this. I think that they should just sit back, think about how to rebuild the party, instead of, again, trying to play blame game, who did what, who did not do what. It was so obvious when their president, and for that matter, the president of the Republic of Ghana at that time, kept defending people who engage in corrupt practices. And an issue like Cecilia Dapaah, for me, was something that the president shouldn't have even mentioned at all. He could have just sat back if he would not even say that, she should be prosecuted. She should have just been mute. But what did he do? He rather went defending her. When the issue of Galamsey came up, Akunta Mining was accused of mining in the forest, and for that matter, destroying water bodies and forests. We had our president
defending that Akunta Mining had not been granted the permits to mine in the forest.
Exactly, and they were mining and even destroying the forest, but he came and denied it. So side things, of course, kept the party in a bad limelight. So it was obvious, but just that there were people who, I don't know whether they do not see anything and they do not hear any wrong. And so when they are even going wrong and you tell them, they felt that you were an against person. I remember when we were complaining about our roads being bad, they were like, oh, we should look, they are constructing a lot of roads. The president himself made a sign that we should open our eyes. Well, we are not opening our eyes well. That's why we are not seeing the development they are, bringing to Ghanaians. So, of course, Ghanaians have spoken loudly, and I think they should just sit back, have a reflection. I think that this is not a time to really, when somebody is angry or somebody is in pain, it is better to allow the person to heal before you can approach the person. And so they should haste slowly. They should not try to, more or less create tempers again by accusing a lot of people or accusing people what really happened, what did not happen. But they should just allow individuals to heal. But having said that, I think that we are on the course to reset Ghana, and I would invite them to join and let's reset Ghana, because the mess they have left behind is unprecedented. And I'm sure in a few days to come, we would get to know the real state of the economy and the real state of Ghana as at now.
Is that you join them to reset Ghana? That's a good call, right?
Well, you see, Annie, resetting Ghana, who joins, who doesn't join. I will always say it. And I said it earlier, that we are very ready. Because we are not spectators.
You know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking? We are not spectators.
I think Richard Ayangba should be on the show tomorrow.
We are not spectators. Why? Why do you think?
You just reminded me of him.
Why? Is it because of how I'm sounding?
I know how you communicate. So you continue. Look.
You know what?
So Richard Ayangba, good morning. I'll be expecting you tomorrow.
He's my boss, so if I communicate like him, it's not a problem. But what I'm saying is that, Annie, you see, it's always very nice when you are seated at the other side. I want to remind Prof that the issue of comparison is a must. Annie, I remember very well when you were always telling us, don't equalize, don't equalize. Ghanaians voted you to come and make a difference. This year's election, last year's election, one of the critical pivotal issues that made Ghanaians, and even before I go there, I want to humbly remind you that you never won the election by your own self like that. And I'm glad that you acknowledge that Ghanaians did it for you. The way you are nicely talking about what we ought to have done and all that, we haven't actually forgotten of the records. But not to take all of us back, but rather to say that, look, yes, you are the good side to tell us you should have done this, you should have done this, you should have done that. But we are assuring you that given the kind of leadership that we have given to go and look into the matter, and if you want, you probably will want to really look at the composition of the committee that is going there. And you'll be well informed that these are people that would go and look at it. Ghanaians, what I have learned from this coming, or the election we are just coming out of, is that, Annie, they have communicated to the whole globe that, look, we are very responsible citizens who will sit in the middle, and whatever behavior you bring, we either hire or fire you, because it's our money that is being used. And that was what was said to us. Now, and you know, when you were reading the headlines, you spoke about hypocrisy and how people will approach things. What was the headline? It spoke about somebody being arrogant, and they never mentioned it until they got the person out of the position on the cocoa issue. Good. I've forgotten the name. Good. So that was clearly what we saw. Fantastic. Besides the NDC communicators we sat through here with, besides the media people or the journalists,
I mean,
who
I made that
us,
comment even because
yes,
I remember when Dr. Randy was here, we used to discuss the cocoa issues whenever cocoa matters come up. And it was so critical, and it showed that everything was going down, especially within the cocoa industry. It was so difficult. And sometimes you listen to Boahedu, and his commentaries were not so satisfactory. So I expected that if you had issues at that
time,
you had a leader in charge who probably was not satisfying you. Like, speak up. He's only a human being and not a lion.
Fantastic. And I'm pretty sure some even spoke up because they were eyeing certain positions, which is beginning to even manifest in this country. I'm not even going there. You see, the level at which people approach issues in this country. Some will speak out not because they are patriotic enough, but simply because they are eyeing something or they have an agreement with somebody. And they would speak out just to get what they want. But is that what we want as a country? No. And I want to also remind Prof that, look, we all were in this country, forgive me if I'm equalizing, but we always have that benchmark that we all need to set us apart and then now do the measurement. You can't weigh your own progress by not having a reference point, whether NDC, NPP. We being a great opposition would depend on the kind of majority we have. And the majority would be a great ruling party depending on the kind of minority we would be. So what I am saying is that today that is nice that you are saying we should forget about what you have done. We would always talk about what you have done because you are the measuring point. Of course, we won't go and fetch any other smaller party. I don't want to mention any small party in this country because they are not the people Ghanaians are measuring us with.
They are the benchmark.
The NDC is the benchmark, like I have said, and you can't run away from that. We still have the issues of the e-levy. We have the issues of betting tax. We have the issues of bringing the dollar to whatever rate. Some are even quoting 4:1 and all that. And that is what, and you see, Annie, that is why this morning I was commending you on something. When you played those sound bites, I told you, those sound bites made me, personally, I can't speak for other communicators who are not here, made me felt some level of guilt in me whenever I come to sit here. Because that particular video will talk about the politician who borrows the future money, who wants to chop the money and all that. And it's true. And I repeat, if the speculations we were getting were really true, then you would have said, oh, it's a shame knowing that you belong to a group that some people would have been perceived to be that. Now, on the issue of Aura, this beginning of Aura and where they are coming from, I don't have confidence in Aura, Annie. The most recent one is Chairman Omari Wade's vehicle they went to confiscate. You've not checked.
Who went to confiscate?
The Aura, they have come out. They apologized. Or it was party tax, eh?
Who apologized?
The Aura. Our news item I wrote was their membership. The Aura members.
Which member of Aura team?
What I read, Aura apologizes to Chairman Omari Wade. And when look, please, Annie, I beg you. I want to always say things and share. I won't disagree with you if my news item is a lie or is inaccurate. That I'll take it. I will take back my words. But I'll share with you the news item I read that says they even apologized to him for taking the vehicle from him. Granted, that is what happened. I'm not saying 100% sure because I've not done any fact check on that. But I have the news item, and I'm telling you, granted that was what they did, then there wouldn't be a point having confidence in this Aura team. Even going back, we all saw the credibility issues the first time they mentioned them. We saw the flyers that were flying in this country, tagging each member of the Aura team and what allegations or what issues they were all coming with. Did any of them come out to debunk those claims? No, we didn't see that. I didn't see any of them coming to say, you allege me of this or you claim I have done this. This is the proof. This is the proof. I never saw that. So if I say I'm not confident, honestly, I am not confident until I'm proven otherwise.
But you're not supposed to be confident in the oral team.
I am a Ghanaian, Annie.
No. You're supposed to be confident in the investigative institutions that we have.
No.
Because they are the ones...
We are speaking specifically on Aura.
Yes, specifically to Aura. Aura is just a pre-arrangement by the investigative teams and organizations or institutions themselves. So they are gathering information and they will give it to investigative institutions.
Thank you, Annie. I love the fact that they are gathering. When you are gathering information, you don't need to send fake data to the person processing it. And there we should be confident that even the data you are gathering is worth respecting. It's credible. is something that you wouldn't bring based on speculations. And that still makes us talking about, or that brings us on the same page, Annie. Having confidence or no confidence still stands, and I rehash that. So I want to be more confident.
When it was appointed or it was established,
yes,
preparatory team towards President-elect's anti-corruption drive, right? Preparatory team towards President-elect's anti-corruption drive. They are just supposed to gather information, so they are a preparatory.
Annie, even here,
it's a preparatory activity to support the work of investigative corruption investigation institutions. They are the ones you're supposed to repose your trust in.
Sweetheart, I believe that it even starts from them. You see, the person bringing the information, the person doing the investigation should be trustworthy, should be very credible, should be somebody who does the investigation to call and not just bring shoddy information. What I am saying...
What do you call shoddy information?
I am just saying that I hope, I'm not speaking on tangible fact that they brought this, and even the chairman, I'm even not so hard on that because I want to go and cross-check and send to you, and if we have time, we can discuss that to call. Because I read the headline as Ora apologizing to him, and I said it earlier, that granted that they had to do that and come back to apologize, then there is no point me having confidence in them, because the information is as good and credible as the person bringing the information. It doesn't matter whether they are the end users of the information or they are the decision makers on the information. So do you want to even say the police officer that always sanctions arrests or that goes to pick, even at the CID level, picking the suspect, shouldn't be somebody that should be taken serious? No. If you are the one at the core, at the grassroots level, at the one-on-one contact point, you should be able to bring very, very credible information so that the person using it, including myself, who is a Ghanaian, and not just an MPP member, to be very sure that, yes, this has been said about Annie, and it is true, we have gone. And that's why the likes of Honorable Fatima Abukari will come out and tell you that, look, you can come and investigate me, because she knows very well what she did as a minister. And a lot more of them will tell you, look, until they get me picked, until they investigate me, until by court I am being established or being identified as a criminal, I am not going to shake. Some of them have told us that, look, Rabbi, you guys should relax. I sat on the seat, I was the minister, let them go and investigate. Some are bold enough to say that, and it's unfortunate, I don't know, maybe, just maybe, some might not also be able to do that. So let's say me, I am still waiting for them to prove to me that they are coming with credible information, they are as credible as they want us to believe, and all the things that have been said about them are untrue. And I'll come and clap for them, because, and you know me, if they do good, I'll clap for them. If they do bad, I'll talk about it. And I'll obviously come and talk about it.
Okay. You want to react?
I reacted to... No, it is a reaction.
1 minute.
Well, yes, so I just wanted to react to...
Oh, you are defending it. Oh, so you're already defending. You're not done with your honeymoon.
That Rabbi just made. First, she said that NDC did not win the election. Ghanaians have voted for them.
Say that again.
And I was just...
Say that again.
You said we did not win the election, but it's Ghanaians have
No.
voted.
I said you didn't do it single-handedly. I said Ghanaians made it.
Yes,
Ghanaians contributed. You see, if
okay,
you were winning...
Rabbi, when you were talking,
So
I was quiet. I was quiet. Allow me.
Even then, I was a regional level communicator.
I said, who did it when you won?
I'm coming. I'm just telling you, even then, I said it. I sat on radio and told the whole of Northern Region that, look, this election we won didn't just come by our own effort. So our appointees should make sure they don't disappoint Ghanaians. Okay. I said that on record.
Yes, so my point is, when you made a statement that it is not by the NDC, but it's by Ghanaians. Ghanaians voted for us. I was just really wondering what you was really talking about.
Please.
And the fact that
Annie, let me provide the
we are not
here.
expecting foreigners to come and vote for us. Of course, it's Ghanaians that would vote for us. And so if you say that NDC did not do it by themselves, by its Ghanaians, of course, I acknowledge the fact that I wanted to use the opportunity, or I mentioned that I was thanking Ghanaians for giving us this huge margin, because it was so obvious that the country was being run down by the NPP government. And though we signaled them that we're heading towards the wrong direction, they would not listen. And so what she's just saying is neither here nor there, because statistics shows that none of us had 50% of the vote, and so you have to always target the floating voters, which we did very well in the campaign by the grace of God. And so if you say that NDC did not win the election by themselves, but Ghanaians have voted for us, obviously no foreigners, or it will not be a foreigner that would come to vote for Ghanaians. And then the issue she mentioned about oral and the fact that they had to come with credible data. I mean, I don't think that she is in the position to determine if it's a credible data or not. What they are doing now is to gather evidence, to gather information. And there are people who are willing to give information to them, including even people within the NPP. Because, look, the looting that they did, not everybody really benefited, but there were just a few individuals who looted as if there was no tomorrow, as Honorable Kennedy Agyapong said. And people are really hurt because of their action and inaction, Ghanaians have suffered. A lot of people there were a number of people who couldn't afford 3 square meals a day. And World Bank report shows that 850,000 Ghanaians were further pushed down the poverty line because of the actions of these individuals. So people suffered because of them. And so if in an election year you think that it is foreigners that will come to vote for the NDC, I think you may just be in your own world. But it was obvious that it's Ghanaians that voted for us. And it is obvious that the oral team is really gathering evidence, because there are a lot of evidence. Not too long ago, I think there was a gentleman who came to deny that he did not buy any government land at a certain location. And they went to pull out a document from Lands Commission that had his name on it, and ridiculously the amount that he bought the land. I'm sure even if you go to Dodowa, far as it is, you would get a land much higher than the price that was quoted in the document. So it is obvious that there was a lot of looting that went on, and Ghanaians have welcomed this idea of going after looted property to reclaim this property or take over this property for the state. And so the issue of whether the information is credible or not is neither here nor there. The team is just gathering information. They are not to prosecute individuals, but they are supposed to hand over the information, and then proper investigation will be done. I don't think that they are just going to base prosecution on whatever they have gathering and just start locking people. You know, they are going to prove beyond doubt that whatever information they have.
Is a preparatory team.
Yes, it is a preparatory team.
Include with prosecutorial powers.
Yeah, of course. So
I don't think that people should be worried
she mentioned that the team came to apologize because somebody went to seize another vehicle. I don't think it's the team that went to.
I can supply
I haven't really seen an information of
January.
Can you wait for me to land? You said the team came to apologize.
Is a flyer.
Oh, so you don't believe the sources of it? Please.
No, hold on. I hope you know that there are people.
This is just a flyer.
I hope you know
that comes with a news item.
But there are a lot of things that comes and we say
when it comes to flyers, I hope you know that there are fake news engineers hiding somewhere, creating fake flyers. I hope you're aware.
Annie, let me tell you something.
No, you're aware of that.
I'm coming.
Establish that.
That is true. People do. But let me come, Annie. You know they are using Ghana Today, isn't it? Ghana Today is on the fly. Look at it.
Oh,
I'm coming. No, I make a point.
You know we can do this flyer here. Metro
Let me come. Would you allow me to talk? Now, even so, okay. Let me pick it from the Metro TV angle. Now, should I go to do a fake flyer? Metro TV says Rabi is a thief. Let me say that. Then Professor Benedicta comes to sit here and now quote Metro TV. If it is untrue, Metro TV will be interested in getting to the bottom of this issue. But until Metro TV is proven not to have been the authors of this flyer or the designers of this flyer, the image would have still been Metro TV, isn't it?
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, Metro
so
TV.
What I am saying
is actually checking with this flyer.
Thank you.
We will. My producers are telling me that.
Annie, you see, so that's the point. Okay. And what I am saying is that before I even got here, I told you that look, granted, what we are reading today is true, then I will expect credibility. So
we forwarded it to
I'm coming.
To the
and secondly, this is not any other platform but Metro TV. So whatever I am saying, I watch and see what I am saying. Okay. I know, and I'm glad that you're going to fact check it. And fortunately, it's not Rabbi saying it. It's this source that is saying. So if they cross-check and Aura comes back to say, oh, Rabbi, it's true that you have seen that. It's true that you have commented on it, but this source is not an accurate, or it is inaccurate, that one, then I would accept, or still disagree on something. So let me continue with my submission.
So let me give you this information before you continue. The chairman of the preparatory team, Honorable Okujetu Ablakwa, says that fake news. Oral does not have a task force.
They don't. But this news item is not also saying it's by the task force. It's his image. What I have here.
This image, what is Rabbi talking about?
So what you are fact checking? What you are fact? Are you still talking on the one you are checking for me?
Yes.
You are still talking on that.
Yes.
And you are saying the Aura is saying they don't have a task force, isn't it?
No.
Isn't it?
No.
But it's not talking about a task force, Annie.
But who will stop somebody in the middle of the road and seize their car? It's task forces that do that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Only task forces?
Yes. But Oral team, who is supposed to go?
Did you see his videos of being on site by buildings, inspecting, asking questions?
Yes. But he is not the one who went to pull down buildings.
No, obviously he won't pull down any building.
Exactly
obviously
my point.
He will.
If they have to carry out any exercise, they will put in place a task force to do that operational work.
So what we are saying in the name of Aura is not sanctioned by Aura.
Please, the chairman says it's fake.
It is fake.
He just told you that.
Yes, I can show you it says we don't know those who purported to act in our name. I have issued no apology to anyone.
Okay, from Honorable Ablakwa.
I have not authorized any car seizure.
It doesn't make. Look, let's get this clear. I don't like what Prof is doing. No, it's one thing quoting a source, and another thing that source being debunked or reacted to. The fact that I have read it and I've said my source, then the person accused has come to say, no, Rabbi, wait a moment. This is not coming from me. That's good information for me. That's good information for viewers who probably would have also chanced this. And I accept that, and I do appreciate that. But that doesn't move me away from saying that. And you see, you were wrong when you said, I'm not qualified to be in the position to determine. I'm not even forcing myself to determine please, I'm not even putting myself in that position. No, I won't do that. But I am a citizen. I am a communicator. I speak for a political party that is supposed to be an opponent to that party that Aura is coming from. And I have every right to say my suspicions, my doubts, my challenges. So if I am challenging Aura this morning, I think I know them. They are all level-headed senior men who will take my challenge in good faith. That I am challenging them this morning that whatever work they are doing, I believe the message is as good as the messenger, and that they should go and furnish the appropriate courtesies with the right information. It's just a challenge, and I'll swallow back that challenge. I'm sending it back to Honorable Ablakwa. If you are watching, Senior, I say good morning to you, and I still challenge you and your team to come out with very credible information for the onwards processing that we all expect here. And I'm sure you are also expecting to have very credible news to work with, not fake ones like we were just reading about.
Well, when you brought it up and I saw the flyer, I told you it was
Thank you.
Let me say, because it was so obvious.
And I'm saying that because
what do you mean by obvious? What do you mean by obvious?
You said that they went to see somebody's car without fact checking, and now they have come to apologize. I mean,
what are you talking about? Oh, no,
what you
stop
said.
Distorting. Look, don't distort the information. Look, when I talk, Prof,
you said that the oral team
Annie, you were equally listening, please. I used the word granted. Please, you are a prof. I shouldn't even be teaching you English. Probably I went to Saito. You are still even in the classroom. I am telling you,
So,
I
Annie,
used the
I
word
think-
granted.
No, it's not probably. You actually went to Saito.
I did. No, I said probably she's still in classroom. I said I went to Saito.
Annie,
And
when
probably
she's
she's still in
talking-
classroom.
But she's
Rabi-
lecturing, so she's still in
So
the classroom.
good. I
Rabi-
said, so I just don't want to say she is because I'm not 100% sure. How do you know if she's not being prepared for her appointment and has gone to choose to resign or so? I can't speak for her. What I am saying
What
is
are
that
you
it's
talking
my
about?
belief.
Why are you even diverting?
But we are coming to talk about appointment this morning. It's my belief that
So,
she is still
Annie,
in
I
classroom.
think you have to
And I am
control
saying that you keep distorting my issues. That's why I'm coming
You
here.
were only coming
What?
in on a point of order. She
Fantastic.
had
So
a-
what I am saying is that, Annie, if I say what you haven't said, we have viewers watching us. That shouldn't go down too well with you because that would have also given a different impression about you.
Okay, Prof.
I said, and I repeat,
Prof,
Annie.
no, don't repeat.
I
Prof,
said
let me allow you.
granted.
Prof, come in.
So I think, Rabbi, I have given you, I think you spoke, if we want to look at the time, you spoke more than me. Anytime you are talking,
You're not the
I keep
timekeeper.
quiet. No, let us not go that
You're not
direction.
keeping the time.
Whenever you are talking, I keep quiet. Do not interject me. I think this is the
waited
last
till
time.
you finish.
Rabbi,
Do not interject me.
she's only
when
she's
you are
only,
talking,
she's only
I keep
laying her
quiet.
rules. Just listen.
Do not
So I should
interject
use my
me.
time to now come to correct
No,
the
but you
things
don't
she
have
do
said.
time
not
now. You've
interject
spoken
me.
a lot more than she has, and to be fair to her, it's true. So you calm down and listen. Okay, let's go.
Yes, so honey, I want to say thank you for this fact check. I think it was just a false information. She made a categorical statement that the oral team went collecting somebody's car, and later on it turned out that it was not true, and they came out to apologize. And she tried to back her statement with an evidence of a flyer that somebody just, designed and kept out there. The oral team is not supposed to go after people to collect whatever they have looted. That was so clear when the oral team was set, that they are just to gather evidence, they are just to gather information. And so if somebody is going after somebody's car, you cannot sit on a national television and say that oral team were going after people's car. And when it turned out that the car wasn't for the state, they came out to apologize. So I'm happy that you have come to defend, or you have come to say that that was a false statement. It was so obvious. Issue about fake news, it's not an uncommon thing. We have seen instances where people will design even letterheads and write information that are fake. And so when you get information that is just circulating on social media, it's very important for you to cross-check before you make such categorical statements. And I indicated when she said that it's important for them to come up with credible information. I don't think that we should start using such words, credible information. The information that the oral team is gathering are not coming from them. They are from Ghanaians who are concerned, people who feel that the MPP government and then some few individuals within the government really looted state assets, and they need to retrieve these information. As I said, there were people who are within the MPP who have volunteered to give out information. And so I think that as a citizen, and for that matter, a good citizen, we should all encourage the oral team. We should all support them, because if this state, if things go on well, it is to the benefit of everybody. Not everybody, of course, will get appointment. And for that matter, if everything goes on well in this country, and let's say food prices goes down, prices of fuel goes down, though you are not in government, but you are also benefiting, because now you would have saved a lot of money that you used to buy fuel, now at a reduced price. And so I think that instead of individual attacking these team and saying that it is not within the constitution to have such thing, it is unconstitutional and all kinds of things, we should rather support them. Because when somebody takes what belongs to the state, it's right as a citizen that we take back what belongs to all of us. These lands they are talking about have been there from Nkrumah's time. If governments decide to share, I don't think that the MPP, and for that matter, the regime that just went to or have just gone to opposition, will have come to meet this land. And so I think that Rabi should rather try to support them. And if she has more information that will help this team, she should rather meet this team. I mean to say that they should look for credible information. Credible information, how do you determine something is credible or not? You can only determine when you invite a person, when you have evidence to show that this is what we have against you. Prove your innocence. That is when you can say that it is credible or not.
I mean, the information could be misinformation, it could be not credible, but it's up to the investigative bodies, clothed with the powers, that's prosecutorial powers, to investigate.
Exactly.
Which is why they, collate the information. Well, let me pick a few messages. Many messages. OPK, Patriotic Voices, go. So it says that regards to digitalization, Baumia, but you say that Mahama is incompetent, you say, by deciding to establish a national economic dialogue to address key development challenges because it did the same thing in Senchi in the previous 4-year term, but nothing good came out of it, by losing massively in 2016 by GDP growth of 3.4%. So this value will be the same, and nobody is above the law. So the law should deal with the NDC foot soldiers who are also destroying public properties. Regards, who are also destroying NDC properties. Let me leave it there. Your greetings are a lot. That's not why I'm here. But this one says that, good morning, Annie. I'm Eben from Kwabinya. The resetting of the MPP will rather help them than the review the 2024 elections. Ghanaians voted against the MPP because they performed badly, period. Greetings to Eliprim, you see. This one says, okay, the Dean of Parliament, good morning, Annie. In 2017, the state confiscated a private car of Godwin Akogan of NDC. Till today, he is still in court to retrieve his car. So do we say Akufo-Addo was the one who asked the state institutions to take his private car? Rabi has no idea who took the MPP man's car. That's the vice chairman of the MPP. And yet forcibly telling untruth that Oral is behind it. Then Akufo-Addo is behind the confiscation of Akogan's car. Prosper says that, good morning, Annie. If Ghanaians did not vote for the NDC, who did? So is it people of Tuvalu? Is a question. Excuse us. Remember, the NDC had to do a lot, including but not limited to blocking possible rigging and extreme vigilance. That, amongst many, won the elections. Hajar Rabi feels guilty now. Interesting, but these videos have been playing on Metro TV since the denudation. This level of hypocrisy is what Ghanaians voted against. So the MPP brand under Nana was just wicked and corrupt, pure and simple. Ghanaians voted them out massively to teach the politician a lesson. It's evidence from the posture of His Excellency Mahama that the demeanor of his appointees, that they would learn from this. Let's move on, people. Ghana is now under better leadership. Simplicity. Well, Musa Batwa says that, Annie, President Mahama's decision to form a 7-member committee of the National Economic Dialogue demonstrates his unwavering commitment to rebuilding Ghana's economy. This bold step signals that he means business and is determined to implement the actionable solutions to reset Ghana back to its former glory. This strategic collaboration and experts' input the country is poised for the turnaround that will be beneficiary for every Ghanaian, you say. Oral does not have the power to investigate. The team receives information and goes out to verify the information. And that is, more filler coming in for you, Rabi. Oral does not investigate. Okay. Honorable Atabwadi says that absolute lies and emphatically no Oral team member apologized to Omari Wadia over seized vehicle. In fact, Raymond Archer said no member of Oral team authorized anyone to take Omari Wadia's vehicle. In what capacity was Abronye and his team seizing vehicles in Ghana? Annie, MD for Ghana Supply Company, Mr. Jalol, Jinapadam Adam took away only official BMW that have been used by his predecessors. Find below the evidence. It was brought in November 2015. The old MD used it for just 1 year. Black color BMW GT 532115. His name is Jawol Binapadam Abraham. Okay. He took over the haulage with his own trucks, but using the company vehicle to drive his trucks. Company pays the driver. Very corrupt man, he says. That's alleged, please. He never allowed the internal auditor to audit, and he serves me with the documents. If you can do that by forwarding it to oral team, I think that will help, so that maybe I'll forward it to the oral team myself. Good morning, Annie. Please tell Rabi to keep talking. Time is the master. John Mahama has been in office for 13 days, and my people are jittery. The boss of fake news is sharing fake news on Metro TV. Wow. Well, he's not, who's the boss of fake news anyway? Is it Rabi or someone else? Good morning, Annie. NPP Rabi is interrupting too much. Carlos from Ododo Dio is the one that's sending in. We have more. I have more, but please let me take this break. Those of you who are wishing me well, thank you. I will get better. I'm sure you can tell from the way I'm talking. I'm really struggling. But trust me, my doctor is watching the show. So if I go like this, you'll just be in the studio right now. So let me take a quick breath. I'll be back, and then we talk about the new release that has come out with the president setting up the new 7-member National Economic Dialogue team. Is actually, let me pick this paper. I think they boldly published, Daily Post actually published, President Mahama appoints Ishmael Yamson chairman of the 7-member National Economic Dialogue team, and that's one of the pivotal promises made by His Excellency in the first 100 days, right? So 120 days. So this is 13 days yet, or 14. We'll see how that goes, and we're going to look at that, and then also some of the appointments and the swearing in and the vetting if we have some more time. We'll be back shortly.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN Rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Mama didn't tell me anything. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bready poor mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me. It is part of the mattress we did the front there. Yeah? That'll be the mattress where the dead for tomorrow. Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Attention all farmers. Are you ready to take your crops to the next level? Introducing 3 effective organic composts that will revolutionize your farming practices. ACAP, KCAP and IRECOP brings to you the ultimate solution for your fertilizer needs. Introducing the ACAP Grade A, KCAP Equiafua Jinkwa and the IRECOP with cocoa blends, palm blend and mulch. These are made from locally sourced municipal solid waste, and these are the perfect choice for sustainable farming. Join the organic revolution today. Boost your crop yield, improve soil health, and support sustainable farming practices. Choose ACAP, KCAP, and IRECOP organic compost for a greener and bountiful harvest. For your purchase and more information, call the numbers on your screen. Our products are endorsed by COCOBOD, Planting for Food and Jobs, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
Customer, I don't know who was say.
Malaria been actually me, man. No more drown, man.
Still. One of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah. Sorry. What rest of so give us here and turn down.
But so good as so. But for me to give us the and turn down.
Give us about me, sir.
Me patron the and turn down.
Customer. Give us a turn down.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fo nom akwada wa ni fie dumie no ono nso nom.
This is Coastal Park, a well-demarcated gated community carved out to host your residential and commercial properties. With a minimum of 40,000 Ghana cedis, you too can own a piece of the serene site.
It's just 50 minutes drive from the Central University College, as well as just some 5 minutes drive from the Ningo Senior High School. More so, just in case you live somewhere in Adam and you want to take that excursion to many of those areas along the Volta estuary, this is the right property for you to invest in.
Great news from Estate Masters Limited. We're running a 10% discount promo on all sites to celebrate our 10th anniversary. Join in the celebration by becoming an Estate Master. Enjoy benefits such as free site visits throughout the duration, free indenture, and free site plan. Contact us for more information. Remember, T's and C's apply. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
You're the answer to my prayer. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
Welcome back to the program. I'm still in the studio with Hadia Salifu, who is also a member of the NPP, the National Deputy Communications Director, and also Professor Benedicta Yaira Fosu-Mensah is a member of the NDC. I've received a very interesting message. The message says that, Annie, since you have made all your communicators appointed into office, make sure Prof is also appointed. I don't know how I contributed to that. But But let me read this. Anthony says that 3 weeks into opposition, and Rabi is furious like this.
But you
read
read it
herself
already,
for 30 years in opposition. Anthony,
why are you so happy about that comment? Anthony, thank you
I'm
for
happy
that.
when we went on break.
Why are you so happy? Why are you so happy? You read it and you are reading it again, Annie.
Henry from Kufuria says that. Annie, good morning. Why is the MPP afraid of oral? If they don't have anything to hide, why should they run? Why should they run from the police if I don't have anything to hide in my room? The future is pregnant. You say, good morning, Ghana. Good morning to you as well, Henry from Kufuria. Good morning, Annie. Okay, Dennis from Alisa Hotel. Dennis, good morning to you. Thank you for doing the watching. It's interesting you sent me that message. But let me pick Honorable Mutala Mohammed. He says, Annie, I'm watching you ladies this morning with profound amusement, particularly to my kid sister, Haja Rabi, who is desperately trying to make a case in the defense of the MPP narrative, which has been resoundingly debunked. Unjustified as such actions are, Rabi never found a voice when my vehicle was confiscated on the airport road.
You didn't tell me.
Stationed at the airport police station for a year. It took the threat of a suit by my lawyers for the car to be released. You are lucky your car was released. Haja Rabi must be apologizing to the oral team.
Who is it? Is it Honorable Mutala?
Mutala, yes, Honorable Mutala is the one that sent that in. Please, okay. Alhaji Hamza, Pig Farm, says that, Annie, please, do you remember what happens to the late President Mills when the partyful soldier and the police were sent to his house to harass him? Unfortunately, he was not in the house, but all kinds of nonsense, you say, to him and his wife. These people should just give us a break. The Delta Force were all over the place, beating and sacking people from their offices and homes in Kumasi. They are even lucky.
Until you do that again.
Yes, I mean, I always say that equalization is not the answer.
You
cannot do the
That's
same.
Annie's position.
I mean, you can't do the same. Then what makes you different? If it's unlawful, it's unlawful. You can't unlawfully be seizing things and, you know. So, Annie, the behavior of Rabi says it all. Opposition is really hell.
Annie, can we go on?
Yes, we can go on. I want to say good morning to my boss, Vaughn. Good morning to you, and I'm so sorry for your loss. My new boss, my new managing director, lost his mom last week.
Oh.
Yes.
Sorry for his loss.
So I've just seen his message. He's also wishing me well. I wish you well. In fact, I'm okay. It is you who is bereaved now. So, Claus Vaughn, my condolences, and from the team as well. Yes. Okay, so we had a release yesterday from the presidency. 7-member team announced to plan national economic dialogue in fulfillment of his promise to convene a national economic dialogue as part of the 120-day social contract with Ghanaians. John Dramani Mahama has set up a 7-member national economic dialogue planning committee chaired by Dr. Ishmael Yamson. The members are Dr. Y.K. Amwako, Professor John Gachi, Mohammed Samara, Nelly Mreku, Anthony Sapong, and Ernest D. Graft Ejri. The National Economic Dialogue will offer a platform to dialogue dialogue and consultation on the country's pressing development challenges. It will also discuss trade-offs and build consensus on reforms needed to transform Ghana into a high growth, inclusive, and resilient economy. Government envisions the National Economic Dialogue to achieve the following objectives. 1, communicate the true state of Ghana's economy to stakeholders and the people of Ghana. Develop a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the national budgets and highlight key structural reforms and policy priorities essential for resetting the economy. The NED Planning Committee has 4 weeks to submit reports outlining the following tasks: agenda setting, speaker and panelist coordination, logistic management, session facilitation, documentation and reporting, And then we also have communication plan, which is design and implement the communication strategy to promote and disseminate information about the dialogue. It's signed by Felix Kwacho Fosu, acting spokesperson for the president. All right. We will couple that with our vetting activities, and the ministers have been, sworn in. We've had the second batch of ministers have been sworn in as well. So let's just get into the discussion. Prof, I'll start with you.
Thank you very much.
I'll start with you. So we're keeping to our 120-day promise. And now the 7-member committee on the economic dialogue is out.
Yes, I want to use this opportunity to salute our He's kept faith with us. There were a number of things he promised, and we can see it being rolled out. I want to salute him this morning once again, that indeed he showed that he's a man that stands by his word. He promised that he was going to have an inclusive government, and we can see even his appointment. Now, when you look at these individuals, we have people who are not politicians, also part of the team. We are on a track of resetting Ghana. And as I said, the resetting Ghana, if Ghana is reset, it is not just to the benefit of NDC, but it is for all Ghanaians. And he has promised that he wants a Ghana that would, a Ghana that would be a prosperous Ghana for everyone. And so anybody that can help him to reset the country, he would want to bring all these people on board. And he has shown faith. Talking about Dr. Ishmael Yamson, we all know that he's an accomplished businessman over a 20 years experience in business development, in issue of restructuring and making sure that businesses are in line with their mandate. And so, and looking at also Professor Gachi, Dean of Business School at the University of Cape Coast. These are top-notch professionals when it comes to ideas about business. So what I can say is that the president has kept faith. We want to really look at what is the depth in which we found ourselves as Ghanaians as far as our economy is concerned. First, we need to identify the issue and then profess some solution to them. And so this dialogue is to help us to identify the various challenges we have as far as our economic progression is concerned, and then make some proposals as far as solution is concerned. This is not the first time we are having economic dialogue. I remember the first time when it was organized. NPP members were invited to also come on board to share their ideas, which they boycotted. And again,
the economic dialogue.
Yes, and again, we have a team to look at our economic reform. I think this is a very important step in a right direction. This is needed. He promised it and he has delivered. These individuals are not coming on board as politicians, but they are coming on board as technocrats, as people who would bring ideas and some solutions to reset Ghana, because indeed Ghana needs a reset. This year and early next year, we will start paying interest on loans that we have taken. And we are talking about a situation where we do not even have money for our own self. And we are going to pay huge interest on loans that we have taken. How do we proceed as a country? How do we come out of the trench in which we have found ourselves as far as economic issues are concerned? These need brains beyond politicians. These need brains beyond friends and family government. And President John Dramani Mahama has shown that he is a man that is open to all ideas that will help to reset the country. He has shown that he does not have every idea, or he does not have it all. He needs people to support him. And he has opened up. As I said, some of the appointments shows that indeed he is bringing technocrats. So for me, I want to just salute him, and I call on all Ghanaians to support this initiative. This is not a time, to be doing propaganda about the steps he takes, but rather we should support this man. He is an honest man. He is a visionary leader. He is in to fix the country. He is here to fix the problem we found ourselves. In the energy sector, you remember when after the inauguration, we were told that we had 5 hours of fuel left to power our plants. But thankfully, being a visionary leader, he's been able to sustain it, and they've worked around things and have found some immediate solution to some of these problems. So again, yes, issue of economy. Also, he's put this team in place. And all I can say is that, yes, people who have ideas, maybe this team alone may not necessarily come out with all the information that they need to reset the economy. There are other people who can also pass on information to this individual. And I know that together, if we are determined, which I know His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is determined to really fix the tainted economy that he inherited, to fix it and put it on track. And so I call on Ghanaians, I call the technocrats, people who have ideas, to really help this team to come out with solutions, to come up with some pragmatic reform that can put the economic or the economy on a track. So I once again congratulate the team, and I know these are great men, men of integrity, and I know that they would come out with very good solution that will indeed set the economy.
Annie, thank you. I want to first of all thank all the viewers who sent in their comments. You see, like I was telling you off camera, it makes we the communicators actually know, or it's a good feedback to us that we're actually communicating to them. And when you start to get reactions, it tells you that you are probably doing well and would have to do better on what you said. And like I said granted. So even if I shared it, I was very open to you, Annie, that if you cross-check and it is untrue, I will take it from you, because I am not the originator of the said flyer. That I actually said, and I do admit all their reactions. To my big brother, Honorable Mutala, he's actually somebody who would occasionally meet me and say, I remember last time we met on flight from Tamale, Accra, and he told me that he is a very consistent viewer of this program, and that I should keep doing what I do. So if you see him talking this way, then it's true that, yes, the information really wasn't coming from the chairman. And for the chairman, I'm his kid sister. He understands that I was only challenging him, and I was still challenging him to give us the best of operations from their outfit. Annie, moving into the dialogue, the economic dialogue session or a forum they intend to hold. You know, I have always said it here, and that is my approach. I like dialogues. And you remember, whenever we have these critical issues talking, I will tell you, Annie, let's take it to the drawing board. Let's get other stakeholders coming to also comment on it. Let's open now the scope so that other people with different lenses would look into what the situation is. We all know that our economy is getting back to its feet. It's stabilizing, though if it hasn't gotten to where we all want it to be. But also for sessions or forums of this kind, I'm very positive that if the committee really works very well, work effectively to bring the needed outcome, then I don't think we would have a problem as an opposition party or as a country, because it's so obvious that if they win, it's a collective win. But they should remember, when they are not doing the right thing, we wouldn't say because they made it open, because they called us to come and say our word, we wouldn't criticize. We by all means will ask them same questions they did ask us. I pray, and I will say that, look, I wish the NDC well. I wish they will be able to give us the best. The word has always been reset. It was reset and it's still reset. So if you are resetting, yes, we know that this is where you are picking it from us. But the expectation is very clear that you told us Ghanaians, that you are able and capable of coming to move away from, or to move Ghana away from where my political party or government left Ghanaians to a much better page. And that, I would say, I wish the team well, I wish the entirety of NPP, and I wish President John Dramani Mahama well in implementing this beautiful idea. Like Anya always say, it's always easy and much easier said than done. So let's wait for the implementation before we get to either talk or not talk about it. On appointments, I want to start by congratulating. Well, okay, so I should hold on. Can I go on? Because you initially introduced that we could do the dialogue and the appointment.
That's fine.
I want to start with my sisters, like the other texter said. I don't know what the person meant by you got them the appointment. That I can't speak to. I don't know what that means.
They should move away from that.
People just want to put me
if there is something
that become a lobbyist.
If there is something more to that, or if there is a lot more for me to know, maybe you might not want to say it on camera or on set, but when we are done, I'll be happy to know what the magic could be. Maybe you have some brokerage somewhere, or you are a chief lobbyist that I don't know. Thank you. So I'm glad to know, and I would be interested. I'm so interested. I'll be happy to know. So yes, to our sister Joyce Bawa Mukhtar, of course, she is on the top on the list, even if you look at it. I want to say congratulations to her, Beatrice, Shamima Muslim, and all other women who happen to be in leadership role now by President, I'm saying President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, of course I wish, but His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. To my sister, Professor Benedicta, I still know that, obviously, because it's my hope that they will put her in a role that she will come and also deliver. One thing I listened to somebody mention is that we shouldn't also behave as if everybody who worked for the political party must be appointed. That's, I would say, yes, I agree, but largely would have some reservations about that, because it's also very well to note that if somebody too is just coming from somewhere, not being part of the process, not being somebody who worked like Prof. Shamima and all other people who did, who would come here at 6 a.m. with us, come and say it to our face. Sometimes we get unhappy with each other, sometimes we laugh and go and all that. Sometimes it even gets quite hazardous, but they still went through, they survived it, and they came out with this victory. So yes, we can't say everybody must get, but those who deserve to get should get. And like I said, youth, yes, President Mahama has done his part on youth, women, but I expect, because if you look at about 42 appointments made so far, the number of women that we have as ministers are just about 7. I know about 18 more are yet to come to make it a full complement or a full house of his 60 ministers and deputy ministers. So I want to appeal. I have listened to the West African Women Leaders Network giving a statement on that, saying, look, the 30% that we expect from President Mahama is not just limited to, or it's not holistic. And yesterday I was watching the replay of the news file. There's this woman, was she Awlatu or something? She's a Muslim woman who also spoke on that, and she was also representing an NGO that, looking at the
composition of the women,
not just the she was directly speaking on the composition of women, but tying it up to the affirmative action bill or Act 2024, saying, look, what she knows and what I have also gone to read more on is that the 30% would affect all aspects. All aspects. Now, I am being careful with news items and fetching them, But of course, we all know Ghana Web wouldn't lie to us because we have always fed from Ghana Web. Unless, of course, we still have people who would come and duplicate what they are doing and send false information. So in quoting,
I'll give you an advice free of charge.
In quoting, I'm coming. I can help myself with it, and let me help you better.
You know the advice
I'm there. I'll help you. Okay. In helping you to help me, I'll tell you I will even quote, but I will tell you having watched. Me, I'm a very good learner, and I'm a good listener. That I'll give it to myself. What I'm telling you, I know what you think, and I can relate.
No,
but
I was just going to say that
don't worry your head, sis. What I'm telling you is that I wouldn't even bother myself fetching from any source until I'm too sure about it. But of course, I am following, and I'm counting, and I'm seeing the names and individuals that I even know, and would say that not only these civil society organizations and the media houses that are talking, we are also observing and would want to use them as a good learning point or a yardstick. There is nothing wrong with looking at party A when they are correct and doing better than them when you come. So if the women that are there are still capable, are still willing, and are still qualified to occupy those positions, people like Professor here should be given the opportunity to go and say. He has attempted to balance, but I think his attempt still needs more improvement. There is still more room for improvement for His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama on people with disability too. I have listened again to other people say that, look, we can't see true representation of the physically challenged ones. They expect to see more of that. They want to see that, look, if indeed it's an all-inclusive government, yes, there should be somebody manning an area. And then lastly, there is this special interest I have in terms of the realignment of the ministries and also the selection of the ministers. I am not, for now, I would accept that I'm not qualified to say this person is this or this person is qualified. But speaking to the effort or the end product that we all will expect from those ministers, and from those ministries and existing ministries, I think it's worth just sharing what I think, and these are my thoughts on that. When you look at the issue of Minister of State climate change, I looked at climate change as a very topical issue globally, not even Ghana, which true that President Mahama having time and interest to put somebody in charge being a good one. I do agree with him. And it's a good thing for Ghana to look or focus on climate change. However, I would look at it this way, Annie. If you say you are reducing to 23 ministries, now we have a Greek ministry that has very special interest in issues of climate change. And I stand to be corrected, Annie. If an agric minister or agric ministries and supporting agencies are working and having to look at issues of yield, issues of post-harvest management, issues of climate change and all that, I think it's on the right direction because that is part of their core mandate. So I'm just asking a very wild question that do we really need, and I'm glad Prof is here, she probably would help me with that. Do we really need another, office, not an entire ministry or how it has been described, because we are told the person is a minister of state. Do we need duplication of that effort? If it's not duplication of effort, for me, I will be very happy to hear from them why that, and what is the agric ministry not doing enough on climate change that we need this special focus. Otherwise, if we don't need to have a special team or having to spend so much on making it specific, I think we could have seen a way of getting it merged with the agric ministry. Since when you are talking of issues of drought, when you are talking of issues of harvest, when you are talking of issues of yields, you still come back to tie that to climate change. Then special initiative. And that one I would come. When you look at why the Special Initiative Ministry was formed, it had these three thematic areas that had to do with the IPEP implementation, and the IPEP is infrastructure for poverty eradication. Then development authorities coordination, that's the middle belt, southern belt, and the northern belt. Then policy formulation. And with a little reading I have done again around this, the understanding I got is, if special initiative, and I do remember very well that we had communicators from the NDC that told us how, when you have all MMDCs, when you have the local government ministry, why then do you need special initiative ministry? They told us, they asked us. And I'm pretty sure it's the feedback that even led to the realignment when we had this same ministry now coming back to sit under the office of the Chief of Staff at the Jubilee House with a coordinator coordinating the activities of these belts, the middle belts. I am not trying to downplay what effort somebody is bringing on board. I am just
That's
looking...
where we got the meaningful dam comments.
Well, she said those comments. I'm not interested in defending those comments this morning. But what I want to say is, whether meaningful dams or not, it still brings us to the scope and the point that people felt that, look, if you had dams to construct, why not channel that energy to the agric ministry?
Right.
And these were the criticisms we got as a government. And with a political party and government that said, we are coming to reset, I think in that aspect, they should have learned a little more. Unless, of course, Prof will again come back or come here to tell me that, Rabbi, okay, so this is the logic behind having a special initiative, and give me the specifics that will go into that, so that I'll be much convinced, I'll be happy to learn that, and I'm pretty sure others too would appreciate what she might be saying on that. But until then, Annie, right. I think if we are cutting costs, I think if we are rationalizing, I think if we really mean business, then we should do it very well after all, so that we all can come to applaud them that this is what good they have done to the country.
Says that, good morning. Annie, I wasn't going to comment, but I've been triggered by Rabbi. What is it? Is it okay for one side of the political divide to behave atrociously every time they come to power?
No, it's not.
But the other side is always urged to be decorum and let bygones be bygones when shoe is on the other side or is on the other foot. What kind of toshes does he say? If Jesus knew the MPP, he would never ask us to turn the other cheek. Jesus assumed that the people had a modicum of shame. Rabbi,
Annie, I love our viewers. You know why?
Alhaji, Alhaji, I've seen your message. I think I'll deal with that later. But Mark from USA says that, good morning, Annie. The resetting agenda of the National Democratic Congress NDC government for the Ghanaian economy focuses on tackling the high cost of living, creating jobs, and revitalizing the economy. The NDC's 24 manifesto outlines ambitious yet pragmatic policies to address these challenges. The 7-member committee with Ishmael Yamson chairing will do a great job, I think. The key areas in the NDC manifesto include reducing cost of living, job creation. I think I've read an economic revitalization. But let me jump here. It says that additionally, the NDC proposed a 24-hour economy policy to foster round-the-clock operations in key sectors, aiming to revitalize Ghana's economic landscape. Let's also support the government to reset the country. This is Mark from USA, always keeping faith with the program. Guess what? I see Professor John Gachi texting. So I'm waiting. I see typing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Prof.
Yes. So on the issue of appointment, I want to once again salute our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He's really kept faith with us, and the biggest achievement is Her Excellency Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, that women, we are capable of occupying such a big position as far as politics is concerned. And as Rabbi was lamenting that it looks like he's not including certain people within his appointment, I want to say that there are several positions here to be occupied. Okay. These earlier appointments are just the initial appointment. And so President Mahama said he's going to have an inclusive, all-inclusive government, and he stands by that. As I said, the indicators are clear the fact that she chose a female as his running mate and now the vice president of the Republic of Ghana. That is the biggest achievement we have chopped as a party and as a country. And we can see that within his appointment, the ladies that have been appointed are capable women. You know, are not just women, I will say, that are within the NDC fraternity, but also outside. And that demonstrates that he is committed to whatever he has said, that he's going to have all-inclusive government. So yes, people with disability, I'm sure that there are a number of them that would also get the opportunity to serve within this government. So I once again want to say that Rabi should take it easy. She will see what she's expecting to see in his administration. But as I said, so far so good. The numbers are good, especially with the female appointment, and the people that have been appointed so far are people of class, are people of integrity, are women who have really showed that they are capable of delivery. And so I will just call on all Ghanaians, especially the women within the country, to support these individuals to really deliver, to show the world, and for that matter, Ghanaians, that women are capable. I would want to also touch on the issue of having a special ministry for climate change. Now, climate change is more than just agriculture. She is saying that the agri minister can tackle issue of climate change. Yes, there are climate change issues affect agriculture, but climate change goes beyond agriculture. If we talk about climate change within the agriculture sector, yeah, maybe the minister would be looking at, well, let's engage in climate smart agriculture, let's look at adaptation, let's look at issues of early warning, let's look at maybe coming out with varieties that are drought resistant, that are disease resistant, because of course with climate change there will be a surgence of diseases and emergence of new ones. But climate change goes beyond that. And Ghana as a country, and the fact that we belong to a treaty, or we signed treaty as far as climate change is concerned, there are policies and programs that we need to put in place. There are actionable frameworks that we need to put in place. And sometimes, if these things are attached to a ministry, you may not have, you know, individual looking at it holistically. So I believe that this ministry is actually to spearhead a holistic policy framework to be able to tackle climate change. Because look, as I said, climate change is real. We are witnessing the impact. But the question is, what are the actions, or what actions are we taking to mitigate climate change? What actions are we taking to build our capacity as a country? Sometimes the policies are there, but then the implementation, because, for example, when you look at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we realize that over the years, because youth and sports were merged, most often the attention was on sports at the detriment of youth development. And so NDC saw it important to separate the ministry, to have youth and employment, and then have sports as a separate ministry. So the same way, I believe that over the years, we'll be talking about climate change, we'll be talking about climate action plan, but yet we are not really seeing that concrete and deliberate effort to tackle issue of climate change. So I believe that this ministry is to look at a holistic policy framework, actions to mitigate climate change, because we as a country, and for that matter, for the fact that we have found ourselves within the sub-Saharan Africa, and we are known to be one of the areas that will be highly impacted as far as climate change is concerned, we need to build capacity of people. We need to make sure that we are climate resilient. How do we do this? What are we doing these days?
As far as the agric ministry,
I don't see it as a conflict, because if the agric minister is looking at climate change. He looks at it from the point of how climate change is affecting agriculture. That's why I talked about the fact that he'll want to maybe implement policies that will encourage climate-smart agriculture, farmers engaging in practices that would reduce the impact of climate change on their farm lands or on their productivity. He may want to also build farmers' capacity by for example, coming out with new breeds of crops that are drought resistant, that are disease resistant, issues of early warning, giving farmers the right information on the onset of the season so that farmers would not lose their crops by planting at a time when the rains haven't really set. And then also giving some projection as far as maybe the rain pattern within the season, so that farmers are aware about the rainfall pattern, and that would also inform them on their decision on the type of crop to even produce. Because if you know that there will be less rainfall this year, there are certain crops that are drought resistant, and such crops will be able to do well within such drought period. But if you know that the rainfall pattern is going to be good, that would also help you to make decision whether you want to plant crop A or crop B, or to diversify as a way of building your capacity against any eventuality. That is within the agriculture domain. But as I said, climate change is beyond agriculture. Climate change affects oceans. Climate change affects coastal dwellers. And that agriculture minister, the agriculture minister would not be able to do that. Now we are having coastal erosion as a result of climate change. We are having issues of emergence of new diseases as a result of climate change. How would the agriculture minister be able to come out with policy framework, come out with some actions to be able to resolve that? So that, as I said, climate change is beyond agriculture.
So
and we are talking about...
We're looking at it from a point of view where huge policies are expected from the climate. Maybe previously we weren't really focusing on climate change as a country, but now we're going to do more focused, come up with serious policies as far as climate change specifically is concerned.
Exactly.
So we're not going to be having, well, we can have overlaps, but these two ministries must be sharing information.
As I said, I personally believe, you see, I personally believe that, there are times our policies are contradicting each other. And, as a country, if we want to move forward, we need to have ministries talking to each other. And we are talking about holistic solutions to our problem. And as I said, sometimes ministries look at issues from their perspective. So, for example, issue of resource use. Maybe a Agric minister will come and because of climate change, he will say, well, I want to bring out policies that will let farmers be a bit climate resilient. So issues of irrigation to augment the rainfall, because the rainfall is now not certain. We have a lot of drought spell. We have sometimes less number of raining days. And so we are building or equipping our fields with irrigation equipment so that farmers will be able to irrigate their fields. But if the Agric minister is just looking at that problem in isolation about resource use, what will happen is that farmers will begin to overuse the water resources to irrigate the farms. Right. Now, if we overuse the water resources to irrigate farms, yes, we'll have the crops, but there will be what? Scarcity of water for other purposes. And for that matter, farmers may overuse the resource at the detriment of other use. And so we are talking about a holistic approach. That is where we talk about nexus. So when people are using resources, you should not look at the resources from an isolation or a single point of view, but you have to look at it from other perspective. How is your use of the resources affecting the other sector? Okay. So you are talking to the other sector. So the energy sector, for example, will rely on water for energy generation. So if agriculture is overusing their resources, that will affect the energy sector. And that's why I'm saying that, yes, we are doing some amount of climate change programs, but how holistic are these programs as far as all sectors are concerned? So I personally believe that this ministry is to look at climate change and probably adaptation or mitigation holistically, looking at the various ministry, and would also serve as backup to make some suggestions to the various ministry as how they can incorporate some of the programs maybe they will come up into their program as a measure to mitigate climate change. So, for example, the extractive sector, for example, is now going into forest to mine. Yes, the goal that we get brings some revenue to us, but how does that affect other sectors? So we are saying that we are what? We are taking actions that would mitigate climate change, but yet the action of going to forest reserve to mine there is an action that is anticipating climate change, because once we cut down a tree, yes, a lot of carbon is emitted in the atmosphere, and then we now have fewer trees to be able to absorb the carbon dioxide that is in the atmosphere.
Because I think you're even making me think along those lines, where we're even having chemicals pollute our waters, and it's still affecting our environment and all that. So maybe we have to really interrogate all these ministries that are coming in more to get some more information. But I'm sorry, my time. So guess what? A senior member of this National Economic Dialogue team, I told you Professor Gachi was typing.
Okay.
He's done. He says that, yes, when I sent, okay, he says that the truth is, I have been consulted, and this is noble. National assignment, this is a noble national assignment that gives inclusive opportunity to Ghanaians and their reps to chart a common path to develop the economy, and I accept the privilege to serve. So he has accepted. No, I haven't given the opportunity to give a final word. Good morning, Gani. Ghana was suffering during this regime of the Nana Addo government administration. Ghana suffered some humongous debt. You said expensive hiring of private jets, capping of statutory funds, and others. David Edu, you said that Honorable Atabwadi says Rabi must be careful with her analysis. Climate change has no barrier and not linked to any sector or ministry. You have to set up differently an entirely new ministry to be fully in charge of matters of climate change. The ministry becomes the anchor upon which all other sectors will be monitored and evaluated on policies, climate changes relating to the various ministries you get. So I'm grateful for all this that's coming through. Jackson, thank you for your message. Chumbuafo says, can you please ask Rabi to stop interjecting when reading my messages? Okay. What do you want to say? My time is up. What do you want to say?
I wish to say, let's be with our own Excellency, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in prayers, because he's in Nigeria making Ghana proud on governance, the best practices in governance and all that. I say we wish him well. I wish him well personally. And I know he's going to continue making Ghana proud. Okay. Finally, on the issue of climate change, you see, I had made it open. And I like the way how interactive the conversation has become, both in studio and even on the social media. That's very good. It says that we're actually having a good conversation. However, when we look at where we are as a country... No, I don't have time. They will take me out. I was just issuing the caution that in cost cutting and in running our affairs, what about looking at merging those? I'm not undermining what a whole ministry. For all the explanation that's coming when you even look at all that Prof said.
If you look at the weight, unless you're underestimating climate change.
I'm not. Okay. I'm just saying, coming from where the NDC is picking us from, if we want to say we are being cost effective, we could also look at it from the point of, say, Ministry of Environment, the sanitation, education, even gender and lands, all these ministries having special interests and being deliberate. Annie, and being deliberate.
Something happened in the previous special
please, I beg you, let me land. And being deliberate about mitigating climate change. And being deliberate about mitigating climate change issues. Mitigation of climate change could be done by all these.
Yes. Then look at the cost, 250,000 Ghana cedi. 250,000 Ghana cedi. If you are constructing a meaningful dam, you don't need anything less than $3 million. $3 million, so not Ghana cedi. So if I'm constructing 250,000 Ghana dam, then what kind of dam are you expecting from me? I hope you're getting me. So that's the kind of dam we've promised the people. We didn't say we are. Yes.
More than 80% of global trade is carried by sea. Most of the products we consume daily travel through ports, making them a key link